welcome to Volume 5 of Crappy Spectacular. I'm the Mick.
I'm Lucky.
And we're here to talk about the only thing that anybody gives a shit about this week, which is the Tony nominations. And specifically, we're here to talk about our favorite category of life, Best Male Performance.
Best lead actor in a musical. There's like a lot of male performances like that are honored at the Tony Awards, but this is the one that we really like
the most. I'm still laughing at myself, so that's great. So first up this week, what do we have?
So first up this week, we want to talk about something that we think is totally spectacular, and that is, of course, the exceptionally handsome and talented Jeremy Jordan getting nominated for Newsies, which, you know...
How could that be anything other than spectacular?
Yeah, it's completely spectacular, because he's spectacular, and he's spectacular in that show, and we love it, and it's great. So that's kind of like our spectacular piece of this. But then we have this other thing that's kind of like swirling in the air about Jeremy Jordan, and guess what? Jeremy Jordan happened to be in another show this season, and he was also great in it. He was great in Bonnie and Clyde. But what happens when you're really great in a kind of bad show?
I think what happens when you're really great in a bad show is that it closes and then you immediately have another job in the same season, and then you're up for potentially 2 nominations.
Except that didn't happen.
No, of course not, because like if you nominate Jeremy Jordan twice, then what if Jeremy Jordan splits the vote with Jeremy Jordan and then he can't even, then his odds suck.
And not only that, that's just kind of like a little bit ridiculous and kind of like overkill to be like, let's give you another one. But like, we kind of genuinely felt like it was possible this year, which is weird.
Frankly, if you look at the category, it kind of was, because like it seems a little bit like they worked kind of hard to not give Mr. Jeremy Jordan 2 nominations, because who got the fucking last nomination?
Which brings us to the next thing on our list, Ron Reigns.
Which, what?
We feel like that's a little bit crappy. That's a little bit crappy.
I'm sorry.
Like, we're sure Ron Reigns is like a really nice guy and like is a really talented actor, and we know that. But for this show, so if, you know, Jeremy Jordan in Bonnie and Clyde was kind of like a, you know, great performance in a bad show, this I think was a bad performance in a pretty good show.
Yeah, I mean, Ron Reigns, I don't remember what he did other than like stand there while Bernadette Peters freaked out.
Yeah, like, I'm having a meltdown, you don't love me, and I don't love you. That's all of Follies right there, the whole show.
Really?
And I mean, I love Follies, but I think that really was the sum total of that.
Yeah, and I just think that like Ron Reigns was not the notable performance in that show in any way, and like not even just like the
Terry White, what? Terry White?
Yeah, like
Paige,
no
Jamie Michelle, Jim Maxwell, amazing.
Danny Burstein got his nomination. Well deserved, completely well deserved nomination. But this nomination to me feels like oh, what else are we gonna do?
It's a little cray. It's kind of like if they, I don't know what they were thinking.
Just that they had an open slot and they were like, well, we
put that guy in there.
We can't nominate Jeremy Jordan twice. So.
Yeah. Also Paul Nolan, not that guy. How about Ron Reigns? That works.
I know there were other actors. What happened?
No, there really weren't that many other actors.
I mean, it's not like I wanted to see Matthew Broderick in there. That was
no.
But anyway, so that's our like crappy for this week. But I mean, I think the really, really big story.
Whoa, you guys! Whoa, was Mr. Raul Esparza completely shafted, no Tony nomination, which is kind of amazing. Like, Raul kind of like walks in a room, and you're like, nominate that guy for a Tony for walking in this room, like. Not this year and not this show.
Yeah, and I think we feel personally that this is completely.
This is a little bit craptacular. Like, completely. This whole situation reeks of craptacularity.
Because, like, it's crappy that Raul Esparza, who is like one of the most important male theater actors of this like generation, and who is, like you said, so talented that like he could read the phone book and get a Tony nomination. I think that like this bad show took him out and he didn't get a nomination because this fucking show.
But Raul himself is kind of spectacular, so
you get this. There you go.
There's your craptacularity right there.
And I think also, like, to be fair, like to like the way that I feel, to be honest, is that like, well, thank God it's spectacular at least that he can't lose again.
I know. Isn't that awful?
Like, we're not
an awful thing to say.
Yeah. But like, I just can't watch Raul Esparza not win a Tony again. It's heartbreaking, and he's too good to not win it. So
I know.
This was not his show. So I'm glad that we at least don't have to watch him like sit in the audience and like
just like be sad.
Yeah, do not disappointed face when someone else wins.
Because I feel like Raul Esparza not very good at not disappointed face.
Which like good for you, Raul Esparza,
because that's real, right? Like that's real.
Way to be a human being and be like, wow, this sucks lost. I just fucking lost.
I know. I'm mad at everybody. I'm mad that I didn't win this Tony.
Yeah.
Like, good. You should be that way.
So
It'd be a little weird if you're not. Oh, I'm so happy for the other guy. No, you're not. Come on. You're like, I wish I won that Tony.
but I just feel so like crappy.
That's exactly how I feel about that.
It's just so like you're Raul Esparza. Like I want you to win everything in the world, but this show, man.
Not for Leap of
And
Faith.
like we just talked about like Jeremy, who was like great in a bad show, and Ron, who was bad in a great show, and like this is like Raul being not great in a terrible show.
Not great in a not great show. Worst. Hate it when that happens.
Crappy, but hey, Raul is still spectacular. I mean, at the end of the day, he goes to bed and he looks at himself in the mirror right before he goes to sleep, and he's like, I'm Raul Esparza.
And that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I think so. So,
It's alright.
kind of like is our little wrap up of the best male. Oh man, I can't make the best male performance joke again.
Best lead actor in
In
a
a musical.
Jeez.
Can't recycle my own jokes.
So we'll catch you next week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do these for other performances and other categories, and maybe we won't.
Yeah, who knows?
Bye.